In this demonstration, we're going to talk about how to manually filter through a particular log and look at whatever you would like to look at inside of that log file. You could use this for anything. And I say it's the manual way because we're literally going to go down and run a batch file. We're going to edit that batch file, and we're going to dissect and look at a specific event or item inside of a file that has been logged. Now, in the previous demonstration, you recall that under Wednesday, there was a log that I ran that was called syslog 19 in the 1900 hour. Now, what we want to do is take that log, and let's say I want to go and look at something like maybe the transitions that took place on a particular master control channel. Okay, so the first thing, let's just open this. I'm going to double click on the log file. It'll open up automatically, probably in Notepad, but you could open this in Word or WordPad or whatever you'd like. And you'll notice already I can see right here, I have some KUSI TV HD01. That's the channel that I have on my system here called KUSI. It's the HD channel. And over here, you'll notice there are some transitions that took place. And that's what the trans means. Now, for a description of most of the items that are inside of the master or the logs and what you can filter through, looking for particular things, maybe like GPIs or macros happening or transitions or what have you. If you go back again to this how to use the USI syslogs and open this and scroll down, you'll see this manual will tell you, actually this manual's, you don't want to watch the video again as I mentioned before, you can read this manual, it'll tell you everything that we're talking about here. So you don't have to spend the time watching this, but if you scroll down here, you're going to see towards the bottom, because right now we're going to be doing what we're calling this parsing and filtering. And if you look down a little bit farther, right down in this area, you'll see keywords, such as master control keywords, and I think there's some router keywords in here too, right there, SC4 and 400 router keywords like SCP takes, RCP4 takes, Utah 400 or Utah router takes, tie line connections, and so forth. Up under the master control, there's things like macro and tasks for automation. The PAS, MLT, and MLS, these identify the master control switching that takes place and the output that was actually switched. So you could go and parse through or filter through any one of these. Router numeric, that would be something that would show up as a tape from the automation. And panel, we'll just do a simple one like the trans, which is the transitions that takes place inside of a master control system. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do, you'll notice there's a folder in here called working logs. When you look inside of here, I've already copied this file in here, but it would look, let me delete it out of here. It would look like this when you first open yours if you've never used it before. There's a program called LA, which stands for Log Analyzer. And that is how you run the application, but that is a real long and cumbersome way to do this. A better way to do it, which we provided here, is this batch file called parse.bat. And I'm going to show you how to edit that in just a moment. So let's go back up one. If you go to the folder that you want to take in and use the log from, such as my Wednesday, right-click on the log you want to analyze, copy that, go back up, and open up your working logs and paste it right inside of this working logs folder. That's where it's going to do its work. You can actually parse this anywhere, but it's just easier to go right inside this working logs. Now, if you right-click on parse.bat and edit that, you're going to see a little batch file here. Actually, it's a one-line batch file, okay, at the very top line. And I'm not going to explain this to you. Down here under the REMs, that stands for remark. That remarks out all of these other lines. These are just descriptions of each one of the items in the batch file, such as LA meaning log analyze program and so forth. The .log is the file to look in. Okay, so the way that this works is you leave the LA alone. The only things you're going to be editing are this right here. You need to put the name of your file that you're going to edit. So mine's called syslog19.log. Now you can call that anything you want over in the working logs, but you just have to make this name here match the same as the one inside the working log. Okay, that's followed by a space. Okay, then it's followed by a /. Then the word multi, which multi is just, as you see down in the list, it's an attribute allowance for the file name search. It has to be in there, so you don't edit that. There's a space after that, a /. The word grep, that is just literally a search command. It has to be inside this batch file. And there's a space. Then the next item is the name of the command that you want to search for. I've already typed mine in here. It's for trans. You can type anything in here you want that's found inside that file, such as we had seen inside the manual or that little guide that I just opened. So we saw one in there called router takes and panel and macro or GPI, anything you want to put in there. That's followed by a space. Okay, then the greater than sign has to be in there. That's, as you see down there, that's a pipe to this particular file. Then there's a space, and then you just put a name here that you would like to call the new file that this is going to filter out and create with a .text behind it. What that means is it's going to take the syslog19, analyze it. It's going to search for anything that has the word trans in it, and then it's going to create a new file called trans.txt. All right, so let's save this and see what happens. So we do a save. It's just going to save my little batch file. Now we're going to run the batch file by just double-clicking it. So if I double-click it, you're now going to see a brand new file appear down here called trans.txt. And if you open this and maximize it, you're going to now see on the screen everything that's inside of that file that's related to the word trans. So we're going to the center. These are the commands I search for. So going down to the very center down here, everything is going to have the word trans. And let's scroll down through it. See that? Now, that gets us everything from the files that show trans. Trans means transitions. Now, if you go down the device name, you're going to see right here the KUSI HD01. You're going to see the 6.1 channel. You're going to see some more HD01s. You're going to see, let's see if there's anything else between those two. No. Yeah, no, that's everything that's in that file, those two channels. Okay, now let's say we just want to filter out and look at just the KUSI HD channel and get rid of anything with the 6.1. This really just does this for you, but you could go in every line and just delete them out of here. But if you come up here and you just copy any one of these, so let's copy this. Right-click it and do a copy. Click copy. Let's close the file. Let's go back into our parse command. Edit that. Come up here, and now the same. This time we're going to just be filtering the transition text file. Okay, so the new file called trans.txt. We're going to search for it. Let's highlight that, right-click and paste. Okay, now we're going to be searching for just those and filtering that out. The name over here for this file now is trans.txt. I'm not sure if it likes capture. Now I know the command line has to be case sensitive, but this probably doesn't matter. But I'm going to just stick to that just in case. Okay, so we do a file, and then save, and then save the batch file again. Now this time we're going to be filtering the transition.txt file, and we're going to resave it as transition.txt. And that hopefully that'll work. If it doesn't, we'll give it a new name. So let's run that. And it did update the time on it. So now if we open the trans.txt file, no, that's not going to work. Okay, that's my mistake. So let's go back into And now we're going to have to back up all the way because I messed that up. So we're going to delete our trans.txt. That's my mistake totally. Let's go back into, at least you get to see this in real time of how you do it and make mistakes. Okay, so we're going to redo this. This is called syslog19.log. We want to search for, and we can do this in reverse actually. We can do just the KUSI TVHD01 if we'd like. That'll be fine. And then we'll search for just transitions. Save the batch file. Now we'll run that batch file. That'll create one called trans. We open that. Now you'll see all of just the KUSI HD01s. But you'll notice over in the, let's make this large on the screen. And now you'll notice I have lots of stuff over here just besides the transitions. I have machine control stuff, status logging, some other things. But I just want to filter my transitions. So let's close this. And now we're going to edit the batch file again. And do this right batch. Okay, edit. Okay, now let's edit the transition file. We're going to edit the trans.txt. Okay, trans.txt. Now this time we want to edit or filter for the word trans, and that is in caps. So let's give this a different name. Let's call this just new. New is fine. New.txt. Okay, now let's file, save, exit out of here. Probably don't have to exit out either, but I do it every time anyway. And we should get a brand new file called new. Open that. Now you'll see, if we maximize this, you'll see all of my HD01 channel only. And in the middle, you'll see that they're all transitions. And that is now filtered out with all transitions under the one channel. And transitions meaning you're going to see that there was a program and a preview. The descriptions of some of this should be found in the manual, but there are specifics in here for times that these events happen. There's more to this than just looking for the file. If you have a specific problem, you're going to be searching for the time it happened. You're probably going to have the channel that it happened on and the router stuff so that you can compare all of that. You want to filter them all and compare all of that in the same file so you can see if the router, let's say the router didn't switch when you did a transition. You can actually go in and search or filter for all the transitions and the specific router events. So you'd see SP4s in here and the HD01 and the times that all that happened, and then you can go and search specifically for the time that it took place. And you can delete on this table and everything else too because it's just a text file. But this is the gist of how you actually would filter it down and start searching for things manually. Now, there is another way of doing this which is more automated, which we're going to talk about in the next demonstration.